All right, hello YouTube and hello friends and subscribers. If you see this, I hope you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to talk about several things here, but everything really comes together. For those of you that normally watch, you know I'm an old man. You know I got a young, recently turned 16-year-old son who is an excellent student, an excellent boxer, excellent athlete in general. He focuses on his academics and boxing constantly, and I give my older intake in everything. I'm lucky and fortunate that I did have Joe later in my life because I'm able to give the perspective from generations past to Joe, and I do that rather frequently. We're going to talk about some of the craziness that I see, that hopefully I portray to you, that you quit buying into and you quit, that you see, and you start changing some. I'm going to start it with boxing. And we're going to get on into some political stuff, and you'll see how this is going to all come together quickly. Yesterday, Joe, the workout, the 2 to 3 hour gym time that goes on daily, was revolved around motivation, and it was revolved around tactics, stylistic things, just all sorts of stuff. And I had to be a trainer first in this process, in the gym process, in the training process, and do it from an old man perspective, and most important, do it as a perspective as his daddy. So what has been happening the past 4 to 6 weeks is what happens to every young boxer. He's deviating from the process put forth for him and wanting to be stylistically like someone else, wanting to do what they do, wanting to copy them. And we had to go through quite a process and lecture of why that is idiotic and utter stupidity. And I pretty much started it out with this. Son, you are the best 16-year-old boxer at your weight, heavyweight, on planet Earth. Why in the world would you want to be like this guy over here, that guy over there, or anybody else? And especially anyone in this generation who is still fighting, professionally or amateur. Why? You want to be mediocre? You want to get yourself set to a guy that'll take a knee when it gets too rough, as most all of them do. Not all of them, but the majority of them would take a knee today. Yes, your favorite fighter, more than likely, would quite easily, when put to bear from an Ali, a Foreman in his early days, a Joe Frazier, a Kenny Norton, a Ron Lyle, Sonny Liston, Cleveland Williams, your guy would take a knee and quit. They wouldn't even have the gumption to get to the corner and quit on the stool. They wouldn't even have that kind of fortitude. So we went on. Don't believe what you're hearing and what you're seeing, because it's a bunch of malarkey. It's a bunch of horse spray. Don't do it. Think about it, but just don't do it. Get back on track. Be who you are. Follow the process we have. There's nobody today that's coming up with anything. Everything, it's all innovative, but it all is junk. It is junk. Brought forth by trainers and old trainers who have losing it up here, who aren't remembering yesteryear as it actually was and falling into younger people's malarkey. And then younger people acting so professional, like this. Now, look, I can go right back and point to a phrase here and give it to you, and point to almost exactly when it was said. I can't remember the two guys that were fighting, but I remember the guy off of ESPN, the new Jewish boxing expert. It was one of two brothers. I just can't remember the guy's name. He's got big eyes. You know this guy. He's a handsome young man. His brother was killed by a boxer, by the way, murdered by a boxer. But this announcer / now boxing expert / now boxing elite PhD historian came up with the phrase 10, 12 years ago, maybe a little longer, maybe a little less. He's fighting off the back foot. I don't know where that come from. I don't care to know where it come from, because we don't fight back in reverse. All right, so sue us. Newsflash, anybody I train, anybody I'm pulling along, and especially my son here, you ain't gonna fight out. You will be fighting off the back foot, and it ain't gonna work out too damn good for you. But you will be going in reverse, guaranteed. I know that somebody's gonna come along and is gonna stand to it, and because it happens with everybody. May not happen in this generation, this weak-minded, foolish generation. Anyway, I went through an hour and a half. Son, we are back on track with what I say is going to be the gospel. There is a zero tolerance policy for thinking like Canelo's camp, thinking like Benavidez's camp, thinking like Tank Davis's camp. Why would I say that? Because they are subpar. They're all playing catch-up ball to what we're doing. They just don't know it yet, because they haven't been faced with it yet. And nothing we're doing is new here. And I put up with, we get a lot of comments. Why isn't he yelling when he throws a punch? We don't do that. That is a relatively new thing that is called breathing exercises, breathing technique for all the rest of you. We don't have to do that. It's not mandatory. We breathe like boxers breathe. We breathe like Muhammad Ali breathed. We breathe like Sonny Liston breathed. We breathe like Kenny Norton, Larry Holmes, Joe Frazier. So we're just not going to breathe like you do. It's nothing complicated here. I don't know why you'd be amazed. And the idiocy going on is astounding. Now, on to the flavor flav of the day in world events. Listen, I'm not going to lecture you all about the assassination. Was there a conspiracy going on? Did the Secret Service stand down with kind of an invite to let anybody do what they did? Was it totally staged? Did Trump stage it? What is happening? I'm not going to go into the fact that the sitting president hasn't been seen in days and went from the morning that he just put out a computerized statement and maybe an AI phone call to Vice President Harris. I'm not going into any of that. What I'm telling you to do is open your eyes and look. Just like I told Joe in the boxing, everything you're seeing around you right now is idiocy, is somebody trying to get from point A to point B, cheating, the easy way, the less, which is evil in itself, in my opinion, and according to my mode of thinking and my beliefs. And what I'm telling you is, open your eyes. Listen with your ears. Look, that Sonia Massey, if you don't know what's happened with her, the body cams have been released on this. The police go in her house over a situation they should never have been inside this, and she happened to be black. Here we go again. And blacks aren't seeing that more whites are killed in situations almost just like this than are blacks. Black people aren't going to talk about that their number one enemy and murderer of blacks are black people. So we live in an insane world. So I'm just saying this with this situation because she happened to be black. So the police go up in there. She's got water or grease boiling on the stove. He tells her, hey, because there's firecrackers going off several days after the 4th of July. Point here, y'all know I'm living presently in Colombia, and they shooting off dynamite in the fucking streets every Saint Day, every National Pass Gas Day, every Learn to Breathe Day, every day. And now they're doing it there. So there was firecrackers going off, but the officer explains. The guy says, is that shooting? And one of the officers says, no, those people, which you know good and well are Latinos, are firing off firecrackers. So the one officer's already nervous as hell for inviting the idiotic different culture into our culture, but nobody will want to talk about it. Not inviting it, just opening the borders and letting it cross. So the officers go in the house, which they shouldn't have anyway, and the one officer says, hey, I don't want any fires going on, or I don't want no firecrackers going on. There's enough of that outside. And she goes to pick the pot of water up. She is moving towards the sink with it. You all can see the video. Go look, Sonia Massey. And the officer says something to her. I think it crossed her. And she just said, here's what she said. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And immediately Satan surfaced in the officer. He pulled his sidearm on, faced it at her, and said, you come any closer and I'm going to blow your effing face off. And bam, 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 shot her in the head, right in the face. Other officer just standing there complacent like they always are. Nobody, nothing. So you're going to have the black population in the U.S. freaking the hell out. They, of course, don't give a damn about them killing each other. They don't care about life until it's a white on black thing. And but this is going to be a big issue, and here's where you'll find out. We back Trump in here. However, I'm going to put a statement out to you. With this assassination thing, with all this crap going on, with this crap going on with Joe Biden, the disappearing, the quitting the race, with the press saying, oh, he's fine, up until a week before the debate that they had, all those lies to us, lies. And this is what I told Joe relating it to boxing. Don't do what anybody else is doing. Don't buy into the bullshit that they are telling you about boxing. They're bullshit. They're foolish. They are in the idiocracy of boxing. And I'm telling all of you, even if you don't box, don't fall into the idiocracy of what's going on in this world, especially in the United States. We are lost, folks. If Trump doesn't come out, condemn that bullshit that happened to Sonia Massey, and I mean really get on it. If he doesn't come out and really condemn that, and I mean really talk about how out of control police are getting, and demand that they start policing each other, because that's what needs to happen. Look, folks, whether you're back in the blue or whatever the hell you're doing, all you got to do is look on YouTube every day, and you see out of control cops, totally whacked out nut jobs that have come out of the military as nut jobs, and or either up out of high school, being the guy that was picked on, beat on, and wants to exert his authority from a badge. And they are killing, they are raping, and they are tattooed up with their gang tattoos, tattooed up with their gang colors, and they're nothing but street gangs. And they don't hold each other accountable. And to President Trump, you need to get up, you need to talk about this assassination attempt, everything that's going on with Biden, and not make it a political phrase that can stick. You need to say, what the hell did they try to do to me? Are they going to fire these MFers? What the hell is going on? I want to know. No more of this bullshit. I'm going to release the JFK files, which you released some of them, but the majority that everybody needs to see, you kept sealed. You weren't honest with that. You were not honest with that. And we need an outsider, an anti-establishment person to go in as Commander-in-Chief and clean the damn mess up. And if you can't even question your own assassination attempt against your own life and not be digging deep about you almost losing your own life and digging deep in front of us, involving us with you with the truth in the open light, you ain't going to be much better. You're not going to be much better. You built a wall that I said we needed a constitutional amendment for. We did not even need a wall. We needed a constitutional amendment to stop illegal immigration. Then we needed border enforcement or a wall. I said from day one they're wasting hundreds of millions of dollars that could be used to house, that could be used to for health care, that could be used for food, rent payments, house payments, car payments for our own people, got through into that wall that I said there'll be doorways all over that wall, and the next party that comes in will open them right up, and damned if it didn't happen. So there's bullshit on our side too, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. So I'm saying right now, I'm going to vote for Trump. However, I am more than being a conservative or a Republican or anything with party concept or anything. I am anti-establishment. I am anti-idiocracy. If you're a younger boxing trainer and you're watching this, don't look at the gym over there in LA. Don't look at the gym up there in New York. Don't look at the gym down there in Miami, Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland to try to pick up on something to learn. You go with your process that you've already known. And if you haven't already had a provable, workable, winning process, you got no business training and or coaching another human being. The idiocracy in everything needs to stop. We are the United States of America. We have sent 8 people to the Olympics this year, 2024, to Paris. In the 90s, we won more gold medals than people that are even representing us in the Olympics next weekend. We have won more gold medals than we now have as representatives representing us in boxing. It's idiocracy. It's fools, incompetence, ignorance, running everything around you. Our sports, our culture, our religion, our government, our policing, everything is being ran by high members of the idiocracy, which are fools, foolish, ignorant, stupid, and sick people.